Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Wednesday, and that means tonight was AEW Dynamite. Now, as far as tonight's AEW Dynamite does go, I would say it wasn't a particularly great show. Other than the ladder match, I was bored with the rest of the show. Other than the Mark Briscoe, Chris Jericho ladder match that I thought was a humper, the rest of the show was boring. It's just there. And then tell me this. How are you going to build up challenges for the tag titles only for them to get made like goobs moments later when they get attacked by the BCC? Like, how does that make any sense? We'll talk about it when we get to the main event stuff. But basically, Isaiah Cassidy told us like 3 times they're not winning. When he kept going, if we lose, we'll break up. If we lose, we'll break up. If we lose, we'll break up. Like, he ain't saying it that many times if it ain't happening. So I didn't think it was a particularly great show. I saw people on Twitter that are usually like, AEW can do no wrong, saying, not the best Dynamite. Didn't really hit. So I'm not the only one. I mean, I have one. We put up the poll. And one of the comments on the Twitter poll is, an average episode. Stuff I like, not their hottest show. So yeah, this one seems like it didn't really hit with many people. But we got Luke back over here. Luke, how you been?
Busy. I'm gonna say that. Last week was midterm, so that was sure fun.
Right.
Had a lot of papers to write, had some stuff I had to study for. But honestly, glad that's over. Glad to be back. Almost had to cancel today because this morning I felt like absolute crap, and then I took some ibuprofen. I've been feeling a lot better.
Well, that's good. I've been feeling bad for like the last 2 weeks, but it's all good. It happens. Well, what did you think of Dynamite tonight?
What the heck are they like doing here? They got so all this is just like too confusing because they're doing a lot of stuff at once. So you got the Elite who are like, I need your opinion on this. Okay. So the Elite, they're supposed to be like, we have all this power in AEW. We're gonna like control it the way we want, correct?
I mean, technically, yeah.
And then you got the BCC saying, like, we're running AEW now. If you're in AEW, we're gonna beat you up.
So it makes no sense. Why? And if so, here's the one thing I can kind of make sense of this, because I like your question there with. I think I get where you're coming from. Why doesn't the Elite, the Young Bucks, try to do something about Moxley if they got power and they're in control and this and that? If you've seen the last 2 weeks, the Bucks are out there when Moxley and his crew attack. Jack Perry then runs down and tells them, hey, we don't need to get involved in this. Don't worry about it. Let's go. Jack did it again tonight. Jack did it last week when they watched them attack. Who was it? They attacked a bunch of people last week. And the Bucks and Okada were just watching on the ramp when Jack ran down and goes, let's go. We don't need to worry ourselves with any of this. Then tonight, the Young Bucks accepted the challenge for the tag title match. The BCC attacked from behind. And Jack came out again and said something. And like commentary even picked it up and was like, did I write it down in my notes? Hold on. I want to see if I wrote it down. Because Jack Perry had an interesting line. I don't know if I wrote it down, though. No, I didn't write it down. But he said something. Jack said something. And if you know in the live chat, let me know. Something to like, hey, let's go, or we need to leave, or something like that. So it seems like the Bucks can do something about it. But Jack Perry is over here going, hey, let them do them. Don't get involved. Just see where it goes, kind of thing.
Yeah, like.
But my question is, not to cut you off, Bucks have power, yes. But Tony Khan's the boss and hasn't done anything. Christopher Daniels technically even has some power in the storyline and hasn't done anything. So it's like, what are we doing here? Are they afraid? What? I don't know. The other odd thing, sorry to take over here for a second, isn't this what the Bucks did earlier this year? They attacked Tony and said we're taking over. And now all of a sudden Moxley's doing the same thing with his group.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on with all Moxley's group.
Like, commentary tried to explain it a little bit tonight where they're like, John Moxley's over here saying that he doesn't like the way AEW is turned out with all these new people here and this and that. And it's like, okay, but you're attacking originals. You're attacking people that have been here since the start. Granted, you took out Danielson. But I don't know. I really don't know where this is going. We're not getting any breadcrumbs or hints. They're just... And the worst part of all this is it seems so random who they're attacking. It just seems so random.
I know some people were kind of disappointed that Moxley was the one that dethroned Bryan Danielson, but it turns out Danielson wanted Moxley to dethrone him.
Well, Tony's original plan, he wanted Darby to win. He wanted Darby to beat Danielson for the belt. That was apparently, according to, I think Sean Rossappa said it. I know Meltzer has said it. That the original plan was that Darby was going to take the title off of Danielson at WrestleDream.
It turns out Danielson wanted Moxley.
Yeah, and I don't know if maybe he wanted Moxley because he knew where the story was going to go, or if he just wanted Moxley because he wanted Moxley. That I don't know. But go for it.
I think the plan now is they're probably going to have Darby beat Moxley for the belt.
Oh, they have to. It's got to be the plan. It's got to be. Nothing else would make sense. Like, Orange Cassidy's going to try. He's going to fail. And the almighty savior, Darby Allin, is the one that's going to have to come and do it. It's plain and simple. It's obvious. So.
And I got some other stuff that I'm kind of want to complain about.
Go for it.
The show, but I'll get to it when I get to it because I don't want to do it now. Then once I get to that moment, I have nothing else to say.
Give me 1 second to fix something. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. It just still seems all kinds of random. So, like they say, let it play out. Long-term booking. But at least most long-term booking gives you slight hints and breadcrumbs. They're just not telling us anything. But
oh yeah, I forgot to mention this like a week or two ago. Remember when AEW was competing with NXT whenever they did that Title Tuesday episode?
Yeah.
They got killed in the ratings by NXT.
Well, it wasn't just NXT. There was a bunch of other sports stuff that night as well. And here's the thing.
No, but they got killed.
But here's the thing. If you look at the ratings patterns, non-wrestling sports always hurt AEW. Very rarely does non-wrestling sports hurt NXT. That's the thing. So, I mean, both shows are screwed in 2 weeks. Because even though the election's on a Tuesday, I wholeheartedly believe that all the news channels are still going to be talking about it the next day. And so they're both running on the 6th, the Wednesday, in 2 weeks. And yeah, I think they're screwed on that day. But with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either hit that donate button down below, or to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember right now on Twitch, if you subscribe to the channel, whether it is with a tiered subscription or with Amazon Prime, you get a free month subscription to Discord Nitro. Discord Nitro is normally $9.99 a month, but if you do a $5.99 Twitch subscription, you get a free month of Discord Nitro. So if you use Discord a lot, I'd take up that offer because that's a really, really good offer. Also, remember, you can help us out on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out by hitting the join button to become a channel member. Even if you just subscribe at the $1 tier, it helps us out a lot, and we greatly appreciate it, whether that's here on YouTube or patreon.com/PWU Unlimited. Also, remember to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. You can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, remember to head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here. PWU Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. So with all of that, give me 1 second. Oh, cannot get rid of this cough. Anyways, as far as Dynamite does go, they were in Salt Lake City, Utah, and the show opens with a BCC video. They are footage of BCC standing tall at Wrestle Dream. Moxley then questions the new paradigm in AEW as he says, "You all work for me now." And I'm like, what? Okay, whatever. They continue to run rampant as the Elite were shown turning their backs on the Carnage last week. Moxley said, "Imagine what they could all become, as tonight, a little piece of someone will be destroyed for the greater good." And I'm like, okay, who? And we learned it was Chuck Taylor. Like, how random is that? And they waited till the very last, 3 minutes of the show. Go for it.
That was random.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say. I was like, that was random.
They hinted it at the beginning or early on. And I'm just like, what are they doing with Chuck? What? Again, more confused. And I shouldn't be this confused this many weeks into the storyline. Anyways, they're in the desert. They're in an oasis. Moxley hops in the back of the truck. The rest of the crew are there, and they drive off. They then show a bunch of baby faces waiting in the parking lot for the BCC. Where to think that these guys were standing there for over 2 hours? Because they said that they've been there for a while. Even Mark Briscoe, who should be getting ready for a ladder title match, was out there with Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly. I think Rocky was out there. Top Flight, Action Andretti, Jeff Jarrett, Satin MC, Karen Jarrett, The Butcher, Dark Order. So it's like they're all waiting for the BCC. You go into the arena. Caliber welcomes us to the show with Daddy Magic Matt Menard and Tony Schiavone. But Tony's in the ring, and he brings out Hangman Adam Page. Schiavone brings up Page losing to Switchblade Jay White at Wrestle Dream and costing White his match last week against Christian Cage. Which, did you watch that show last week? Did you watch last week's Dynamite?
Not. I did not, because I was doing an exam at home, so I was kind of just focusing on that.
So you didn't see Kip Sabian completely mess up the entire main event?
I did not know.
So Kip Sabian was supposed to be in the front row, and it's very obvious what he was supposed to do, and he messed up. So basically, his cue was Christian's going to go for a spear, jump the barricade, get on the apron, and distract everybody so then Hangman can get involved. Well, he comes out about 5 minutes too early, and Kip jumping up on the apron is Hangman's cue to run out. Well, Kip runs down. Christian's in the corner to go for a spear and literally looks and goes, "No, not yet. Get down." And you can hear him. Hangman runs out.
That's funny.
Realizes they've messed up. He kind of jumps up on the apron and then just falls on the floor and lays there at ringside for the rest of the match. Until eventually, Kip Sabian hits a spot later when Christian goes for a spear. This is the cue then for Hangman to hit the buckshot, take out Jay White, and there we go. But yeah, Kip Sabian completely messed up the main event. I just thought it was so funny. There's a video of it you can find online on Twitter and stuff of people zooming in and catching the moment and this, and literally he jumps up on the apron and Christian's just like, "Get down, not yet." I laughed so hard. Funny. I laughed so hard. Anyways, Paige rips the microphone away from Tony Schiavone and mentions dropping Jay White with the buckshot, nearly ending Juice Robinson's career, and beating Austin Gunn down so badly that his brother, or that he doesn't even remember his brother's name. And right on cue, when he says that, Austin Gunn attacks from behind. Or Colton Gunn, I mean. Colton attacks Page from behind. They brawl the outside. Gunn was then backdropped over the barricade. And then Page gets in the ring. Throws Colton into the ring. And he takes off his belt like he's going to whip him. But out comes the rest of the Bang Bang gang. So White and Robinson run down. They make the save. They distract and get the best of Hangman for a second. White jumps in, shoots the double leg. Page eventually escapes, but he's limping away. Remember, they've been building up this slight leg injury to Hangman. So that's his weak point right now, is the leg. Page, like I said, was limping away. White then grabs the microphone and just cuts an awesome promo. These are the New Japan Jay White promos I've been asking for in AEW. Jay White is awesome on the mic, and he finally showed us tonight. So White knows how much the Hangman's leg hurts, and does the fact, and that's the fact that he knows he has Page's number. He said the banner reads All Elite Wrestling, but Page can cover up his shortcomings with blood, barbed wire, and fire as he pleases. When the bell rings, he'll never measure up to the Switchblade. Page says that they're 4-1 and they should be 5-0 with Switchblade getting more wins over Hangman. He said that they haven't seen the last of each other. Page, go ice your leg because I'll see you really soon. I thought the end of this was good. What'd you think?
I mean, wasn't bad. I thought the ending was pretty good, though.
Yeah, I thought Jay White cut a great promo. So as we move forward, we have Shelton Benjamin versus Sammy Guevara.
I'm glad that they're finally.
Go for it.
I'm glad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you cut out for a second, but you're good.
All right, so I'm glad that they finally using Jay White like better now since he returned.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
Yes, because you got to remember he was gone for like 2 or 3 months with an injury. I also want to shout out Elite Tish, who subscribed at the donation tier as a channel member for 6 months. Really appreciate that. So we have Shelton Benjamin versus Sammy Guevara. Good match. I would say you couldn't tell that they were just going from spot to spot. They did do the old Shelton Benjamin, Shawn Michaels spot, which I was like, oh, I like that. I like that a lot. So they wasted no time and they started going really quick early on. Benjamin used his size to completely launch Guevara in the air. Guevara avoided a stalling vertical suplex, turning it into his double leapfrog drop kick before low bridging Benjamin outside, connecting with the top rope moonsault. Guevara wanted another dive, but MVP distracted him long enough for Benjamin to recover, catch the dive, and hurl Guevara over his head with a suplex onto the stage as we go to a commercial break. When we come back, Benjamin is in control. He took Guevara to Suplex City, I would say, with a series of German suplexes. Guevara finally got off a near fall, and he hit a counter to a T-bone. There's a thrust kick that trapped Benjamin in the ropes, and then a pump knee that sent him to the outside. Guevara hit a corkscrew dive before back inside the ring, tried another springboard, but Benjamin sidestepped. Wanted a German, but Guevara landed on his feet. There's a pop-up cutter. They got another one for Guevara. At one point, Benjamin then hit a super kick from midair as Guevara bounced off the ropes. Again, the old Shelton Benjamin, Shawn Michaels spot. One more super kick led to a step-up corner knee and a big T-bone suplex for Shelton Benjamin to pick up the victory. I thought these two worked really well together. But it's like, really? You just beat one half of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. I wouldn't have done that. I would have put somebody else in this match if they were going to lose. What'd you think?
That wasn't bad. I mean, I enjoyed the match. but I feel like Sammy Guevara has always been that guy just to go up against, like, be like the first singles opponent for that new guy.
Right.
Like they did that. He did the same thing for Ricochet. Now he did it again for Shelton. What's next? Is he gonna do it for Bobby?
Probably not, because he just took on Shelton, so I doubt he also takes on Bobby Lashley. But I get what you're saying. And they tried to make Sammy Guevara seem like a big deal, saying, I always deliver with big moments. They even showed him in Cody doing the Cody cutter off the ladder. So, we'll see. Also,
I just feel like right now they're kind of struggling.
Restart your Discord
Sorry
really
to cut
fast.
you off, but like
Restart your Discord really fast. Your audio and your video are off.
okay.
While I wait for Luke to come back, I'll just do this. So, Renee Paquette, this was weird. Renee Paquette approaches Mariah May backstage, walks out of the locker room with a suitcase in hand. She says that it's Anna Jay's. She opens it and then tosses it down the hallway. She says, Anna Jay doesn't belong with me in the ring, and Anna Jay doesn't belong with me in the locker room. And I'm like, what? Jay then runs in. He pushes her up against the wall. Before they can fight, Christopher Daniels breaks it up, holding Anna Jay back. Mariah May is taunting her, making fun of her, and then the segment just ends. Am I missing something here? I get Anna Jay beat her and is getting a title shot. But it's like, she doesn't belong with me in the ring, and she doesn't belong with me in the locker room. Well, now, before anyone says it, I get it. Mariah May is the champion. She's only been here for less than a year, but she's already the champion. Yet, Anna Jay's been here for multiple years. Anna Jay's been here since like 2021, 2020. COVID times. And so it's just like, what? This was not good. Not good at all. So as we move forward, Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis come down to the ring. This was weird because it just ended up with Fletcher going crazy. Tony Schiavone welcomes Fletcher and Callis to the ring as they are met with loud boos from the crowd. Fletcher said the fans can boo all they want, but the only person he's here to talk to is Will Ospreay. 11 days since Ospreay lost the international title, hobbled in a hospital due to his herniated disc he won't tell anybody about. Fletcher said the idiot fans are to blame just as much as Will, as they said that he was the next big thing with the brightest future in pro wrestling. Then Ospreay showed up and he started calling Fletcher. He's like, then he started calling. Well, I wrote this wrong. Then Ospreay showed up and they started calling Fletcher the next Will Ospreay. But I am not you. We are not the same. The inbred Americans said Fletcher looked and sounded just like Will. But that was an insult to me. I took that personal, as I am better than Will Ospreay in every single way. Back in 2021, when Fletcher joined the United Empire, Ospreay was the king with a killer instinct. The crowd chanted for him to wrap it up. And I'm like, oh, this ain't good. This ain't good at all. The crowd's not into this whatsoever. Fletcher reminds them that Don Callis has bought him all the TV time he wants. So they must listen to him. And I'm like, what? Okay. Fletcher then brings up Okada, bringing Ospreay to New Japan. What did he do? He stabbed Okada in the back. Fletcher then brought up Kenny Omega, leaving New Japan. Ospreay stepping up as the biggest foreigner. Once fans started comparing Ospreay to Omega, Ospreay did what Fletcher did. He used a screwdriver to prove his point. It's the lesson that Ospreay taught Fletcher. Don made Fletcher realize that Ospreay never wanted him to realize his full potential anyways. And that's the person Ospreay is. Selfish. We'll give Ospreay one chance to save face next week, ignoring doctor's order, meeting him in the ring before sending him back to the hospital for much longer than 11 days. Fletcher then says he's the proto-star, which, what is a proto-star? Do you know?
It's just like the new star that they're trying to create.
Google it, because his nickname now is the Proto Star, and I have no clue what that means. Let me finish this little promo here. He says he's the Proto Star who will do so by being nothing like Will Ospreay. And now, why will Kyle Fletcher's been growing his hair out makes sense. He then asks...
I found the definition real quick.
All right, go for it.
A protostar is a very young star that is still gathering mass from its parent molecular cloud.
Okay, so he's a star in the making, I guess you would say.
Yeah, yeah, he's like this. He's the new star that's still trying to like gather. It's like, I don't know,
find his way and become the next big thing. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So he says, I'm nothing like Will Ospreay, and he cuts his hair. He shaves his head, basically, or parts of his head. I thought this promo was good, but it's like, he didn't do enough to keep this crowd. Granted, a lot of people liked it on social media, but you could tell that the people in the audience were not really liking it. They didn't care much for it. And I spoke to somebody that was at the show, and they were like, this crowd was just there. Like, for most of this show, like, the crowd was there. Like, they were basically what I was told was the crowd was up for the ladder match. Everything else, they kind of cheered out of respect. So, yeah. So, we'll see. They're trying to build up Kyle Fletcher as like a big deal. So, yeah. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I think it just went a little long and went a little bit too off the rails. So it's like he started losing the crowd. He realized he started losing the crowd, and then he just kept on. Go for it.
I don't know, like shaving his head though, like what?
So the weird thing is he says, I'm not like Will Ospreay. He cuts his hair to say I'm not like Will Ospreay. They don't have the same haircut though.
They don't. It's like, I mean, I get maybe like, I guess some people might think that because like maybe the hairstyle, maybe, I don't know, but I don't think it's even the same style.
Right.
Ospreay's hair is really curly.
Yeah.
So like that doesn't really make sense unless maybe in real life Kyle Fletcher just wanted to like shave his head for something, so they turn this into a storyline.
Probably.
Kind of like the Shotzi one.
Yeah. You missed it when you were restarting your deal. What did you think of the Mariah May Anna Jay backstage segment where Mariah May threw her suitcase down the hall and said, "You don't belong in my locker room"? That was so dumb.
Oh boy, they're struggling to find Mariah May something to do now that she's champion.
Yeah, like she lost to Anna Jay at Battle of the Belt, so Anna Jay gets a title shot, and then she says Anna Jay doesn't belong in the ring with me. Anna Jay doesn't even belong in the same locker room as me. Yeah, I don't know about that one. So they showed footage of Konosuke Takeshita defending the international title at Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling against Josh Alexander. Ricochet then made the save and took out Takeshita with a dive. And then go to Renee Paquette backstage with Ricochet. He said that he's a man of his word, saying he'd show up anywhere to get his hands on Takeshita. Despite not being pinned by Takeshita in the three-way, it's been him screwing him out of the title twice. So he's challenging Takeshita or anyone to meet him in the ring on Rampage in an open challenge. MVP and Shelton Benjamin walk up. MVP says, hey, new company, new time. Or no, new company, new beginning. Maybe we should work together. And he compliments Ricochet on his suit. Hands him a business card. And then walks away. So I don't think Ricochet joins MVP's group. But MVP's just handing these cards out to a lot of different people.
I could see Ricochet maybe joining MVP's group because remember,
you have to turn heel.
I know, but like remember, like when Ricochet and once it was announced that Ricochet was leaving WWE, Like MVP made that tweet saying, I originally wanted Ricochet in the Hurt business.
Right.
He wanted Ricochet and Cedric, but WWE told him you only get one of them, and he chose Cedric.
Yeah.
Well, Cedric's not going to AEW because Cedric just signed a new deal with WWE.
Yep.
So maybe Ricochet's that gonna be that Cedric replacement for the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, Hurt Syndicate.
So
I can kind of see it, but it's like I don't know if they want to turn Ricochet heel. That's my only issue with it. I wouldn't be against it. I think it'd be awesome.
I just think, have we ever seen Ricochet heel before? I don't think Ricochet's ever been heel as long as I can remember.
So he never was in WWE that I can recall. And on the indies, it's hard to say.
It's hard to tell who's the babyface and who's the heel on the indies.
Like, oh, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I know in New Japan he wasn't when he was a tag team with Matt Sydal. In Lucha Underground, Prince Puma was not a heel.
Prince Puma was always that hero babyface in
Right.
Lucha Underground.
So I think maybe his early career, he may have played a heel. But other than that, I don't remember ever seeing him as a heel. 'Cause I remember a match where he had, not when he had his long hair, but he had like still hair on his head. And he played the match as the heel in the match. I don't remember who it was against. It was just a random indie match from like 2013, maybe, before Lucha Underground. So, yeah, I think he's played heel maybe a couple times, but he's never been like a full heel that I can ever remember.
It would be interesting to see him as a heel. I wouldn't be against it.
Right.
But again, like if he was heel, I'd feel like he'd just be like one of those guys where like he might try too hard to be a heel, to where fans might be like, oh, he's trying way too hard.
Exactly.
Because there are wrestlers like that who were really never like a heel before, where they try too hard to be that heel.
Roxanne Perez.
I wouldn't say she was a terrible heel, but
She's so much better as a babyface.
She is, but Cora Jade's pretty good as a heel, though.
Yeah. We go back outside, and basically, Chuck Taylor tells all the goobs to go back inside. He's like, hey, you guys can't be standing out here. Go inside. I'm like, oh, okay. Then he stops Orange Cassidy. And basically, he tells the crew, stop waiting. Walks up, tells the conglomeration, hey, Mark's match is next. Taylor then stops Orange Cassidy, brings up living together until AEW came along. Says he doesn't know what it takes to stand up to the BCC, but he knows that Orange Cassidy does. He said it's about time that you show everybody what's what. They then walk up together, as Excalibur says, that was tough love from Chuck Taylor, who is now a backstage producer. They want us to know Chuck ain't a wrestler anymore. Chuck's career is over. And Chuck's just a guy working for AEW. That's what they want us to know. And it's like, okay. Orange ain't going to be the one to take down the BCC, though. What do you think of this?
It's not going to be Orange. I think Orange will try, but he'll fail.
Yeah.
Do you think they do like Orange someone else then Darby? Or do you think they'll just go Orange to Darby?
That's a good question. As of right now, Orange to Darby, because I don't know who that someone else could be. No.
Kyle O'Reilly?
No. I was going to say maybe Garcia, but he's more set on Jack Perry and the TNT title.
Mark Briscoe, since he's no longer the ROH champion?
Maybe. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
I think, I don't know. There's a lot of guys in AEW right now who feel like they're not really like, they all feel kind of the same. They don't really feel like one's above the other.
They're just floating around without a direction.
Yeah, because like in WWE, like like Cody Rhodes, for example, he's like the top. He's the main guy.
Yeah.
And like same with Gunther, but like, and you can tell like who's above who and who's not. Like in AEW.
Go for it.
In AEW, it just feels like everyone kind of feels the same.
Too many guys feel like geeks that can be beaten at any time.
Yeah.
So speaking of Mark Briscoe, the best thing on the show is a ladder war between him and Jericho. Ladders were set up all around the ring. Tables were set up all around the ring. This match was really great. Like, this match was awesome. Jericho almost got killed at one point. So Briscoe chucked the ladder at Jericho from the floor to the ring. Shoulder tackled him off the apron. He went through 2 tables very early on. Briscoe could have ended it here. The commentary brings up that he wants to hurt Jericho for saying Jay's name. Jericho battled back with a suplex on the floor and smacked Briscoe with a piece of broken table. Both members of this match then battled it out on the apron before Briscoe set up Jericho on a ladder, tried to go for a dive, but Jericho moved and Briscoe crashed hard through the ladder. Jericho set up a small ladder to climb, so Briscoe easily recovered quickly and put a stop to it. Jericho then darted the ladder into Briscoe's face. And when the camera cuts back, Briscoe's bleeding. So did Briscoe blade, or do you think he actually got busted open? I don't know.
I don't know either.
We go to a break. When we come back, Jericho is climbing the ladder. Briscoe set up a ladder in the corner and hit a Death Valley driver on Jericho through it. Briscoe slowly climbed to the corner. Jericho cut him off with the ladder. Briscoe pie-faced Jericho, holding down the ladder, and hit a follow-up senton, opting for another table, and gave Jericho time to climb the ladder, go for the belt, and there was a slugfest. Briscoe then had his face smashed against the top of the ladder, fell off, but was able to get back up in time and stop Jericho, sending him crashing down as well. Jericho tried to go for a bulldog, but was crotched into a corner ladder by Briscoe. Briscoe fired up, set the table up with Jericho on the top before climbing the big ladder and going for a froggy bow, but Brian Keith stopped him. So Brian Keith runs out, stops Mark Briscoe. Rocky Romero then comes out, hits Brian Keith with the kendo stick, chases him away. He then hits the froggy bow. Jericho, for some reason, looked like he moved while he was laying on the table. And so when he crashed down, the back of his head smacked the ladder. And I'm like, oh, that looked like it hurt. And Jericho's basically just knocked out for the rest of this. Jay hits him with the J Driller, climbs the ladder. Big Bill comes down, choke slams him through 2 tables on the outside, picks Jericho up on his shoulders, climbs the ladder. Jericho grabs the title to become a 9-time world champion. Jericho celebrates for about 10 seconds, and then we hear the music of Tomohiro Ishii. Ishii then comes out on stage with Rocky Romero. They have a quick stare down, and Jericho holds the belt tight. Briscoe knocked out on the floor, and Daddy Magic's like, hey, you need to get another shot of Mark. He looks hurt. Oh, this match is great. What'd you think?
I thought it was a pretty good match. I thought I was kind of expected that Jericho was going to win.
Really? I was kind of 50-50 on it.
They wouldn't do a rematch for just no reason, though.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, Private Party's getting a rematch. But they're getting broken up. I could see it.
I think it's 50-50 on that one.
No, we'll talk about it because I think they told us they're breaking up. Honestly, you say you think Ricochet could be the 4th guy in the Hurt Syndicate? There's a chance it's Isaiah Cassidy. I'll tell you why here in a little bit.
What are they going to do with Mark Quinn then?
You gonna die? Slow death. Nothing, probably.
Just throw him in the Ring of Honor?
I wouldn't hate that. Adam Cole comes down to the ring next. He says, It's story time with Adam. And then we hear Roddy, Adam! Adam! Undisputed Kingdom come out. Strong said that MJF used Cole. And then and the Adam Cole brand to make himself relevant. Make the fans cheer him. That MJF didn't check on Cole when he was gone, out injured. But the Kingdom and Strong did. Mike Bennett said that he knows MJF believes the Undisputed Kingdom was formed because of him. But their friendship has always been way bigger than the one with Max. He said they started this together. They'll finish it together. Matt Taven said a year ago, they said yes to the plan before Cole even finished his first sentence. The best moments of his life has been when they're all together. Strong said that he's proud of Cole, who worked his ass off this past year to get back. Did you hear what Adam Cole said about his foot injury?
He had to get a bone donated?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, his bone broke so bad that they couldn't repair it. They needed to put in a whole new cadaver bone.
No wonder why it took him so long to come back.
They said he went in for the first surgery. They realized it was worse than it was, and he needed surgery 7 days later with a donor bone. Holy crap.
I wonder who donated the bone.
Oh, it was probably just anybody. Probably no one in particular. They get random donations like that all the time. Cole said that Strong is damn right. They're going to finish what they started one way or the other. How about tonight? They'll give MJF an undisputed ass whooping. MJF's then shown on the big screen, getting massaged on a table, and asked if Cole remembered about their revenge that he was dangling over him last week. Remember, MJF's still gone filming Happy Gilmore 2. He said that Cole will never get his hands on him, but tells both Cole and Strong, whoever wins 3 matches first, it's a match with me at Full Gear. So we know that MJF will be back at Full Gear.
So wait, I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
What's MJF's role in Happy Gilmore again?
He's one of Happy Gilmore's sons.
Really?
Yes. He is playing Gordy Gilmore. I don't know if you saw the only video from the filming that is leaked out, but there's a video of like Happy Gilmore surrounded by press coming out of a courtroom, like a courthouse, and his sons are there with him, and you can see MJF, and he's like yelling at the cameras, "Get away, leave us alone!" Blah, blah, blah. It's yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he's got another movie after this he's going to film that's supposed to star Justin Long and Ron Perlman. 2 big-time actors.
You good?
Yeah, I almost thought I was going to throw up there for a second. I don't know why. Whew. Well, my eyes are starting to water. All right. Anywho. So we know that MJF will be back at Full Gear.
Here's my thing real quick.
Go for it.
Why do they have Adam Cole as the babyface in this when Adam Cole was the one who turned on MJF?
So I get where you're coming from, and I've said the same thing, but it's like, no matter what, the crowd was going to cheer Adam Cole as a babyface when he came back because he was gone for so long. It's just how it works. It doesn't make sense story-wise, but it's just how things ended up.
Yeah, but the crowd's gonna like root for like anyone who returns, basically.
Exactly. That's the whole issue.
Why does that even matter?
It doesn't.
So I mean, that's just how the crowd is. When someone returns from a long time, obviously they're gonna cheer.
But that's the thing. AEW, when someone gets hurt in the middle of a storyline, they pause it. They don't try to keep it going. They don't remind us, hey, this guy was a heel. This guy, like when Punk was injured and they went 6 months of him and Drew McIntyre still keeping that feud alive. Or when Rhea Ripley was out injured, they went 2.5, 3 months with Liv Morgan still keeping the feud alive. AEW's issue excuse me, has always been when somebody gets hurt, they just pause everything and think, oh, the fans will just pick it up perfectly when they come back, or the fans aren't going to care what happens. We'll do something, whatever. So, I don't know. So, we do know that next week, Adam Cole will be facing Buddy Matthews. Video package played for Penelope Ford, explaining her actions as to why she attacked Jamie Hayter. Hayter teamed with Ford in her last match 2 years ago. She's back to remind people just who the hell she is. Maybe gets backstage with Jamie Hayter, who said that she listened to everything Penelope said. It's all bullshit. It's all BS. Hayter slept on floors. Had a minus bank account. Wrestled in front of 20 drunk men. Because she's done it all. Hayter said she'll make Ford the victim of her return and issues a challenge for her for 2 weeks. So if you notice, they're trying to build more things up for future shows. So that's good. We then had the House of Black against 3 guys. I didn't get their names.
My TV was mute during this match because my mom called me.
Gotcha. Malachi Black immediately hit the end on one of them. Matthews tagged in, hit a double stomp on another, who managed a strike to escape. There's another tag in. He suffered a series of offense until another one got steamrolled by Brody King. Double pop-up knee from Black and Matthews. Then a curb stomp to pick up the victory. Just a squash match, which I'm all for. Give me squash matches. We got 2 of them tonight. And I'm like, great. Yeah. You're building up some teams and you're giving them some wins. We don't need like Shelton and Sammy. Why did that match need to go so 50-50? You're building up Shelton Benjamin. Just give them some goddamn wins.
Give Shelton some squash matches.
Yeah. We also saw another one with Brian Cage and Lance Archer later. There was a total squash. Like, good. Too many times we do these, it means nothing AEW matches. Fans go, well, they wanted to give so-and-so a win. Okay, but the opponent also got way too much offense. In these matches, the opponents got like 1 counter each, and that was it. We do have a super chat donation from I Want Victims. He says, where's Deonna, Thunder Rosa, and Taya? All these women and others in Ring of Honor Collision can go against Mariah. Seriously, Tony. So Deonna and Taya are starting a new group that almost seems like an Italian mob style group. They've been building this up with vignettes over the last couple of weeks. And, excuse me, Thunder Rosa just came back last Saturday, I want to say, on Collision. She's been out with an injury. She suffered a concussion. Then we had Camille versus Queen Aminata. Camille showed her power early. Aminata was able to battle back with a series of pin attempts before running into a brutal backbreaker. Camille then stood tall and controlled the action throughout the commercial break, keeping Aminata grounded. This was another one. You're building up Camille as this like powerhouse. Yet, why is Queen Aminata getting so much offense?
I don't know. I really don't.
Where was I? Aminata dodged a leg lariat at one point when things returned from the break as a violent running elbow popped Camille right in the face. There's a snap neck breaker that led to a wild running boot in the ropes to get the near fall. The most trouble we've seen Camille in so far in AEW. Aminata then wrapped up Camille like a pretzel, but Camille bridged into it too. Camille tried a powerbomb and Aminata rolled through for a near fall. Camille managed a torture rack, spin into a sit-out slam. Aminata kicked out. Monet then demanded Camille finish her, as a really awkward spinning reverse neck breaker was hit, and then she pinned her 1, 2, 3. Nothing to the match at all. I felt like this was a nothing match. Crowd was not really into it either. Any thoughts?
Yeah, crowd really wasn't into it either.
Yeah, no.
Fans just don't like anything to do with Mercedes, if I'm being completely honest.
I'd second that.
Like, you agree or disagree?
Oh, a second that. I agree.
Oh.
So, Mercedes Moné walked in to celebrate with Camille until Chris Statlander came out. Two went face to face, and we know they're going to fight next week. Moné tried to trash talk, and she hit a cheap shot, which Statlander no-sold, and fought off very easily, I would say. Didn't make Mercedes look any good. Camille then hit a spinning neck breaker, and they all stood tall, her and Mercedes. So, yeah, that happened. The car arrives at the arena. All the AEW guys are waiting for the BCC. Patriarchy actually get out. Christian Cage tells them all to back off until he sees Kip Sabian trying to sneak away. The chase was on as Cage, Nick, and Shayna Wayne chase after Kip Sabian. This stuff, what the fuck? Hook is then shown storming backstage as Renee Paquette asked if he knows who attacked his father. He said, the scumbags are in the ring right now. Commentary questions, who of the four in the ring could it have been? As Hook hit the ring, he was about to attack Cage when Sabian hit a low blow. Cage said that he knows why Sabian took his pen and prevented him from cashing in the AEW World title shot a few weeks ago. But he'll deal with him later. He'll stand in the corner. Basically, Kip Sabian's now in the Patriarchy, it seems like. Nick Wayne tried the Wayne's World once, but Hook put him in the Red Rum. Cage then hit him in the back with the case. Or the little, what's it called? What do they call the clipboard? Whatever.
The contract clipboard?
Yeah.
That clipboard almost reminds me of the clipboard that Jericho used whenever he had the list of Jericho.
You just made the list. So, Wayne then hits the Wayne's World and Cage hit the kill switch on the case. Cage then whispered to Tyler that this isn't what he thinks it is. It's not what it seems. Patriarchy then walk off with Kip Sabian. Hook is left to slowly recover. Okay. So Christian attacked Taz?
So what it's making it seem like.
So this has nothing to do with this show, but it has to do with Christian. Have you seen the stat going around saying Christian has won world titles for companies in other companies, if that makes sense?
So, like, Christian's only won world titles in other companies than WWE?
No. He won the NWA World Championship in TNA. He won the TNA World Championship in AEW. And he won the ECW World Championship in WWE.
That's actually a very interesting stat.
Right?
Oh, did you see the video or like the report? Well, I don't know if it was a video. It was like a report, like when Christian like returned to WWE, like on the ECW brand version of WWE. Vince told commentary not to act surprised when Christian walked out.
I saw that.
And I was like, wow.
No, Vince, it's known. Vince was always like, so what you said earlier about Sammy Guevara, about, oh, they know Sammy can go in there and have good matches with anybody and he's always going to lose. That's what Vince thought of Christian. He can have a good match with anybody and then he can lose.
So like he was basically someone that Vince never really like took seriously.
To an extent, no. Let me go to
Christian
our main.
always,
Go for
I
it.
thought Christian has always been better like outside of WWE, in my opinion.
100%. When
Like
Christian
he was really
when Christian was in TNA, at the time, that was my favorite wrestler. Christian in TNA with Tom Cole and AJ Styles.
which I liked Christian like back in 2012 when he was Intercontinental Champion. I mean, that was a good Christian, but
Yes.
other than that, like he didn't really like do a lot after that, which to be fair, he did get hurt like a year or two later.
True. We go to our
Which
main.
he was very injury prone towards the end of his run in WWE.
Yes. So we go to our main event. It's a 6-man tag. It's the Elite, Jack Perry, and the Young Bucks against Daniel Garcia and Private Party. Garcia and Perry brawl as Zay and Quinn wipe out the Bucks with dueling dives as the match officially begins. Perry goes for the eyes on Garcia, who fights off Matthew until both the Bucks and Private Party hit double clotheslines. They all kip up at the same time. There's a poetry in motion on Perry and Matthew as we're shown the AEW crew still outside waiting in the parking lot. I'm like, damn, you've been there for over 2 hours. Perry then connected with a draping DDT off the apron and on Garcia. Simultaneously, the Bucks hit their double team hung up senton on Zay as they go to a break. After the break, Stokely Hathaway is shown in the front row. He's trash talking Zay. His commentary talks about how Hathaway not having a purpose right now. Garcia was trying to go for the hot tag, but Matthew pulled him from the apron at the last second and sent him into the guardrail. Perry connected with the powerbomb on Garcia through the timekeeper's table as the Bucks hit risky business on Zay for a 2. Zay managed a double takedown off the top and a hot tag to Quinn, who was able to clean house like a house of fire. One point, I wrote this weird. Hold on. The Bucks got a 2 on Zay at one point after there was a double stomp into a powerbomb. Garcia recovered and sent Perry flying over the barricade with a big boot. Zay then battled off both Matthew and Nicholas, who wanted to go for a TK driver. Private Party hit the silly string, and then they just rolled up the Young Bucks and pinned them 1, 2, 3. Private Party win. So before we get to the post-match, what do you think of the match itself?
I mean, match was all right. I didn't even notice that Private Party got new music. I did not notice that.
I didn't either.
I guess, I didn't notice that. But match was all right. I thought the ending kind of made Private Party look a little weak or foolish.
Yes, so match ends. Zay grabs the mic. He's like, Young Bucks, we beat you. We proved we could beat you. Give us a title shot. And the Young Bucks are like, no. So then Zay goes, you know what? How about this? Give us one more shot. And if we lose, Private Party breaks up. And Quinn's like, excuse me, what? But here's the thing. So Stokely Hathaway tried recruiting Private Party a couple weeks ago and told them, you know, if you keep going down this path, it's not going to work as a tag team forever. And he gave them a card. Mark Quinn kind of blew him off like, we don't want you. We're good. But Zay kept the card. Go for it.
So remember when you said earlier that how like Isaiah Cassidy might join the Hurt Syndicate if Private Party does end up breaking up?
Yeah, I was wrong on that one. He's going to be with Stokely.
Honestly, like what if they go kind of backwards? What if they eventually have Isaiah Cassidy join the Hurt Syndicate and they have Mark Quinn be like, you know what, you're right. I'm kind of lost here. What if he joins Stokely?
That's not a bad idea, actually. So he said it again. We'll break up if we lose. And the Bucks are like, fine, sure, let's do it. He said, next week, we're going to fight you guys. But if we lose, Private Party breaks up. If we lose, Private Party. He said it so many times. I'm like, you're losing. Like, they're going to lose. Private Party breaking up. So then we hear honking. And on the big screen, we see a truck pull up in front of all the geeks in the parking lot. It's only Marina Shafir. So Marina gets out of the truck, packing Claudio and Wheeler, attack Garcia and Private Party in the ring. And I'm like, oh, these guys just got a tag title shot and you already made them look like geeks by attacking them like nothing. So they get taken down. John Moxley then comes out wearing all black with Chuck Taylor dragging him down the ramp. They throw him in the ring. They go to brutalize his ankle. Claudio says, no, neck. And he stomps the chair on his neck. Everybody then runs down to try to make the save. Orange Cassidy comes down. BCC bail. And the show goes off the air with Orange checking on Chuck and the doctors slowly tending to him. So what do you think of this beatdown at the end?
Made the guys outside feel kind of dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Wait outside for 2 hours for nothing. But basically, it's just going to lead to Orange Cassidy trying to take the belt from Moxley. He's going to fail.
Yes.
Don't know if there's going to be someone else than Darby, but we'll see. Do you think they'll do Cassidy versus Moxley at Full Gear?
It seems like that could be the direction, yes.
Do you think that'll be the main event?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Because I have no clue what the main event of that show will be. I know it's kind of early to predict, but
Probably.
I can already predict 2 matches for that card already.
Go for it. What do you got?
It'll probably be Cassidy versus Moxley for the belt. Maybe Bobby Lashley versus Swerve.
Yeah, I can see that.
I just don't know when Bobby's going to debut next week, maybe.
I mean, it's coming at any time. Yeah, probably next week, because next week is Shelton and Swerve, right? Yeah, right here. Yes.
Don't know, actually.
That is next week, Shelton and Swerve.
I think the match will probably... I think that match has to end in a DQ. I don't think they have Shelton lose that quickly.
No, I don't either. I was trying to see if we had Rampage spoilers yet, but I don't see any yet. As far as Rampage does go, we do know that Ricochet has issued an open challenge, and the Kingdom will take on Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty, and they'll also take on the Gates of Agony. Next week on Dynamite, Adam Cole versus Buddy Matthews, Chris Statlander versus Camille, George Strickland versus Shelton Benjamin, and then the tag titles will be on the line with the Young Bucks defending against Private Party. If Private Party loses, they disband as a tag team, and then in 2 weeks, Jamie Hayter versus Penelope Ford. Excuse me. Let's check these polls really fast. I did not do a Twitch poll. I apologize for that. Let's check the rest of the polls. As far as the the Threads poll, 46% thought the show was just all right. 38% liked it. 15% didn't. One in the comments said, it won't show me in the comment now. Threads is weird sometimes. Sometimes Threads will show you stuff. Sometimes it won't. As far as Twitter does go, wow. 43% didn't like the show. 31% thought it was just all right. 25% liked it.
I was just being generous saying it was all right.
Right? Because I like the ladder match so much. So I would have voted all right because of the ladder match. As far as the community poll, 60% liked it, 23% didn't, 17% thought it was just all right. And then as far as the YouTube live poll, 50% liked the show, 22% didn't like it, 22% thought it was just all right. With that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here at twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. But Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, tomorrow, if everything goes according to plan, we're going to do a gaming stream. We're going to do a little bit of the brand new Jackbox game that comes out tomorrow. Then, if it comes out when it's supposed to come out, we're going to jump into the brand new Black Ops Call of Duty 6. So we're going to play some of that. Cool thing about Jackbox is you guys can play as well, and you don't even need to own the game. You just need an internet connection and a browser to log in for free. And then we'll be back on Friday for SmackDown. And then we got Halloween Havoc on Sunday. But that, guys, have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.